What happened to the accident in Mbarara where we almost lost members here? What had happened to that specific? Have you done an assessment, and do you have a report to that effect?
Honorable Chair, accident investigation is done by the ministry. We have the accident investigation unit at the ministry, and when they investigate, we also parties whom they also investigate, and they find the causes, come up with the recommendations, and they communicate to us to implement. As of now, the report is not yet out, but at least we have the preliminary report, which was shared. Yeah.
So before that incident, did you have the certificate of good standing for that specific? Is it a plane? How do you call it? Helicopter or aircraft, whatever.
Yes, the aircraft had a good certificate of airworthiness.
So it was fit?
Yeah. Yes, it was fit to fly. Yeah, Chair, the matter is under investigation. If I talk much, I might interfere with the investigation which is ongoing.
Yeah. We don't need to, we need to talk about it. Because I attended the function where the speaker was coming from where? Nepi. I followed them, you know, they stopped us from moving ahead, but I think it was a chopper. It went up, went down. It went up, came down. And I told my colleague, member of parliament, I said, these people will not reach where they are going. Eh? That means it was not really airworthy. It went about 3 times, up, down, finally it went. Just here, because I was moving on the road, before I could reach my refor, just going that even the route, I heard of the bad case. And you know, whatever happens, all over the world, they pinpoint to you people. You know, civil aviation, you have done a good job. A commendable job, there's no question about it. But when such a things, that means something throw a lot of mud on your shirt, and you can't easily remove it at times. Yet when people throw mud on our shirts or brows, we try as much as possible to remove them. But that one is sticking. You know, a speaker dying.
Chair.
Okay, let's have honorable opinion on that matter. Chair. We shall pend it. It will come at the tail end of our discussion.
You may forget, but beyond the speaker dying, from his responses to your questions, he wasn't answering your questions, by the way. I don't know whether you noted. So it means that there is a big problem there about inspection and schedules. He didn't answer anything. He said there is a schedule. How many times there is a schedule which is international, which we follow? He couldn't tell you that 5 times the international schedule says 10 times. He didn't answer. It was the second question I marked. So there is a problem there.
You see why I didn't mind?
So we need to
why I didn't mind his response? Because I wanted to send him for the reports. Because they must be somewhere. If he says they have been doing it, they are somewhere. So you don't even give him a long time. He goes and they get us the reports.
So in effect, the chair is asking for the interim report, maybe the translator.
That one later, but yes. The fitness he was talking about, that they had been doing assessment of these choppers and they're okay. Because, but we shall bring it at the tail end, because we shall have an inside engagement without the media, maybe at the tail end of it, and we shall discuss.
Maybe, Chair. Just to, the reality is that the accident investigation cannot be part of the civil aviation system, because in the investigations we are part of the people that are being investigated. In fact, the independence of that unit is always a point of audit. Some of the things you see as audit areas is that area of accident investigation, and must be excluded from interference by the civil aviation. So that's why he's not coming out in a manner, because the function does not belong to him. It is actually a unit in the Ministry of Works and Transport.
Okay, thank you. Let's spend this matter. We shall come back to it at the tail end of our discussion. Let me go ahead.
As you refer that matter to the tail end, if you had Honorable Mala's audio about what happened or what it actually was, himself about that craft, Mr. Chairman, flight worthiness standards could be things that are compromisable. The DG will explain to us, but Omala will explain to you. Mr. Chairman, when we were in Gulu, in the Parliament sitting in Gulu, I saw him Zungu in a kanzu. I got closer to him only to find it was the black Omala, you know, Mr. Chairman. I sat near him. He told us what actually happened before the flight took off and how it all ended. Flight worthiness standards should not be compromisable. DG, Mr. Chairman, thank you.
How many domestic, they are called what? Planes. The small plane, they are called planes or what? That run business of domestic flights in the country, in Uganda. Huh? Companies that run the domestic flights. How many are they?
Honorable Chair, we have licensed domestic air operators. We have I'm not sure.
Tells me that when we ask them a lot, cumulatively either out of omission or commission, not these ones of course, but anyone that you want to interact with, you have to keep a room for monitoring their responses so that they don't skip the very pertinent issues. So I had accepted Honorable Cooper, then Honorable Benyama.
You came in late.
Yeah, but you had moved out, so I thought...
No, you were moving on order. Thank you, Chair. Mine is...
Given his age,
mine is simple.
we can tolerate...
Somebody talks of the checks. The way people check. You are checked inside the terminal. Somebody on the run, somewhere on the down, somebody also is checking you. You go as you enter the plane, somebody is checking you. At the entrance, somebody is checking. I said, don't embarrass people. You have gone through the checks, out, you have removed your shoes, belts, and everything you have checked. Then when you come to the plane, I think you should be showing your boarding pass. But there are unnecessary checks. Recently, I was just going to Nairobi, but we were checked down and some ladies ask you for the passport and you finish it, then down, somebody was checking. Before you enter, those very slippery radars, they're really embarrassing. And then somebody was also checking. Then at the door, I wondered. I said, don't embarrass us. You can embarrass Bianyum, but don't embarrass those people who come from outside. We want, the way the place is neat, the way you are moving some good level. I recommend you. But at the same time, the personal touch to people should continue. Don't employ these girls who are not well educated and not diplomatic. Say, please bring. Kindly, I want to make sure that we help you to recover your money. That's the most important thing. I thank you.
Thank you. I think now that Honorable Anyima, that's Honorable Kenya, you're coming in? Then you'll come in.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I would like to thank the DG and the team for the presentation and for the said improvements. I say said improvements because I have not been to the airport for a very long time, maybe 24 months or so. But Chair, I see here on the summary of the budget estimates, yes, on the summary of the budget estimates, I see recurrent expenditure is like 75% of the budget. And on the last page, I also see the competitive remuneration taking 50% of